What is the pathway to higher consciousness and raising the divine awareness of oneness consciousness with Source God? What is the pathway? In my own experience, the pathway turned out to be self-love. After all my shadows were revealed, my narcissistic traits, my codependent traits, my avoidant attachment traits, all of that stuff, all the traumatic stuff that got formulated during my childhood, when I did not have the adult capacity to logically reason out the events that took place, the neglect, the abandonment, the rejection, the perceived rejection, perceived abandonment, but nevertheless felt deeply in the confusion as a child that could not reason through those events. And then that formed memories and behavior patterns, coping patterns that formed our unconscious behavior as adults into adulthood, and affects our relationship with other people. And since we were children, we were always looking for love, and we were expecting to be loved by our caretakers, by our families, by our loved ones. But the demands of life did not always afford the luxury of getting that caring and loving attention. And so we grew up deprived. However, the longing for that love has never really gone away. The only way to get fulfilled in that longing for love is by turning within to that inner child. And now as an adult, with the rational and nurturing mind, both left and right brains unified, we have to reparent our little child, or our soul, our wounded soul. And we have to lift it up, raise it up through love, acceptance, forgiveness, and compassion, and non-judgment of all things. Non-judgment is very important. And we have to give ourselves validation, because all of our lives we have been invalidated by others, and this invalidation has created a very low self-esteem in us, to the point that we just don't feel deserving of anything good. we have adopted an identity that believes that lack is what we deserve. We don't deserve better than to scrape by with the little breadcrumbs that are offered to us. But we don't have to be satisfied with the breadcrumbs. We can give ourselves the full meal deal of self-nurture, self-love, and self-care. You really are, in essence, the one that will never leave you nor forsake you. You are the only one that can fill that role. It is believed from Scripture that this is referring to God. But even God, if God to you is a separate being outside of yourself, then even God can forsake you. The potential is there for in the least for our mind to delude us into thinking that we have been forsaken. That's the illusion of mind. But since our soul is the very breath of God, our soul is God, and therefore to give attention and self-care to our soul, it becomes the essence that will never leave us nor forsake us. We can count on our own soul. We can count on us at all times. When everyone else forsakes us, our own soul, our higher soul, and the multidimensionality of it does become the stand-in for God, and is the one that we can most intimately merge with. We are our soul, and our soul is God. And if we focus on soul care and soul love as if we love God, then we can heal ourselves through that self-love and self-care. Very important. Very important. And through doing that, we are ascending frequencies into higher consciousness and higher awareness, and begin to embody our divine self more and more. So that's the steps, that's the path. Through self-love, you will elevate your soul into ascension.